It was a crisp Sunday morning in Oak Ridge, Virginia, June 15th, 2024, when the roar of a chainsaw tore through the quiet of my neighborhood. I was on my front porch, still in my pajamas, sipping coffee and skimming yesterday's paper. The world felt soft and slow until that mechanical scream hit me like a punch. My custom iron gate $4,000 and 3 months in the making was being sliced apart like it was nothing. No knock, no notice, not even a scribbled note on my mailbox. Just 3 guys in Navy uniforms, acting like they owned the block, while my neighbors peeked out their windows, jaws dropped. I stood there, frozen, coffee mug trembling in my hand, wondering if I'd slipped into some dystopian movie. What would you have done? I'm a lawyer, used to courtroom drama, but nothing prepared me for this. The doorbell camera kicked on, catching every second of the chaos. 3 men, their uniforms stamped with Community Safety Patrol, stood at my gate. One wielded a gas-powered chainsaw, sparks flying as he carved through the iron. Another held a clipboard, barking orders, while the third, let's call him Jake, streamed the whole thing live on his phone, grinning like he was starring in an action flick. My neighbor, Sarah, watched from across the street, her face pale. The gate, built with city approval 2 years ago, was being destroyed for no reason I could grasp. I stormed down the porch steps, shouting, "What the hell are you doing?" Jake paused his stream, cool as ice, and read from his clipboard. "Your gate violates Section 3.1 of the HOA Aesthetic Code, too tall at 5 feet, unapproved material." He handed me a flimsy sheet of paper, no letterhead, no signatures, just a checkbox marked urgent removal. It screamed fake. I demanded proper documentation, but Jake waved me off, citing some vague emergency clause in the HOA's security contract. Emergency? For a gate? Metal shavings littered my driveway, and I could feel the neighbors' eyes on me. Mrs. Carter in her robe, the Nguyen family on their stoop, all stunned. Then my grandfather, Henry, stepped onto the porch. At 80, he moved with the calm of a man who'd seen worse. He set his coffee down, disappeared inside, and returned with his 12-gauge shotgun. No words, no threats. He just sat in his rocking chair, the gun across his lap, barrel pointed at the ground, and stared. The chainsaw stopped dead. Jake's crew froze, and the silence was louder than the machine had been. Even the birds seemed to hold their breath. Jake fumbled his phone, voice cracking as he called 911, claiming an armed threat. The police rolled up fast, lights flashing. Officer Daniels, a familiar face from my courthouse days, took one look at Henry and chuckled. "Always the Morgan House," he muttered. He spoke to Henry for 2 minutes, calm as a Sunday chat, while Jake ranted to the other officer about terrorist behavior. Daniels checked Henry's unloaded shotgun, then turned to Jake. "Where's your notice? Your board approval?" Jake's emergency excuse fell apart when he couldn't produce a single valid document. The crew slunk off, leaving my gate half ruined, a twisted mess of iron. Henry suggested we head inside to clean up the real mess later. Over eggs and bacon in his kitchen, he started talking about maps, not vacation plans, but the kind that shaped Oak Ridge decades ago. Turns out, Henry wasn't just my fix-it grandpa. He'd been a city planning commissioner in 1982, signing off on the very documents that turned farmland into our suburb. His signature was on the contracts that set property lines and exemptions, including ours, long before any HOA existed. That afternoon, neighbors started calling. Sarah wanted to know if her lot had the same protections. The Nguyen's asked about their own violations. By evening, certified mail brought a $10,500 invoice from the HOA's leader, Margaret Klein, for emergency response and community safety fees. It listed $3,000 for a board consultation and a psychological evaluation for Henry. The charges were absurd, but the audacity wasn't. Henry studied the bill like a detective, pointing out errors and illegal fees. He'd seen this game before. Monday, I uploaded the doorbell footage online, expecting a few local shares. By Tuesday, it had 80,000 views. Comments flooded in, stories of HOA nightmares from Texas to Maine. A guy in Oregon shared how patrols fined him for his mailbox's shade of blue. A Florida family posted receipts for $2,000 in hedge symmetry penalties. Jake's own live streams became his undoing. Internet sleuths dug up years of his videos, showing him in cop-like uniforms, making fake arrests, and bullying residents. His channel was a goldmine of civil rights violations, all self-documented. News outlets called for interviews. Channel 5 wanted to talk property rights. CNN saw a bigger story about private security overreach. My little video had sparked a national firestorm. Henry's kitchen became a war room. Neighbors crowded around his table, learning about their grandfathered rights protections Margaret was ignoring. A city clerk called about lawyers requesting 1982 records, curious about Henry's role. By Wednesday, we learned Margaret wasn't just the HOA's lawyer. She'd been the developer's attorney in 1982, fighting for the very exemptions she now violated. Her own legal briefs, stored in Henry's manila folder, preached homeowner rights and constitutional protections. The irony was brutal. Margaret was dismantling her own legacy to dodge bankruptcy after a messy divorce. She'd manipulated HOA boundaries to inflate membership for a gated community bid, fudging numbers to boost property values and save her finances. Thursday's community meeting was standing room only, with 30,000 watching online. Henry walked in with a tray of oatmeal raisin cookies, his secret weapon. He offered them to everyone, board members, neighbors, even the live stream audience. Rights taste better with cookies, he quipped, disarming the room's tension. Margaret arrived with a briefcase, ready to lawyer up. But as she droned about community standards, people munched Henry's cookies, sharing stories of patrol harassment. Henry's presentation was a masterclass. He showed city maps, his 1982 signatures, and Margaret's own briefs, proving our lot's exemption. The crowd applauded. Margaret's polished slides couldn't compete with warm cookies and cold facts. Jake slipped out the back, his career in ashes. By Friday, the video hit 500,000 views. Digital detectives cataloged Jake's violations: fake badges, illegal searches, threats. Margaret's damage control livestream backfired when viewers fact-checked her in real time, posting her fraudulent invoices next to Jake's footage. Her credibility collapsed. The internet preserved everything, making cover-ups impossible. Memes of Henry with captions like "Constitutional Grandpa" went viral. Law schools wanted him to speak. Advocacy groups used our case for training. Crowdfunding raised $20,000 for our legal fight. Even international media called it a uniquely American stand for freedom. The courtroom showdown was electric. Judge Harper, a property law legend, presided as scholars and students packed the gallery. Henry testified with quiet power, explaining his unloaded shotgun was a message, not a threat. Our lawyer read Margaret's 1982 brief aloud, her words now a weapon against her. Jake admitted under oath the chainsaw stunt was meant to scare, not enforce. The verdict was a landslide, $50,000 in damages for our gate, Margaret's $10,500 invoice voided, and a public apology ordered. The ruling set a national precedent for HOA limits. Jake got community service, teaching constitutional rights. Margaret faced sanctions, bankruptcy, and a ban from HOA rolls. 3 weeks later, our new gate gleamed, exactly 4 feet tall, with a plaque, "Constitutional rights established 1982, defended forever." A live stream camera ensured transparency. LED signs flashed, "Justice served." The neighborhood threw out patrol signs. Kids played freely, and new HOA leaders served, not ruled. Henry's porch became a hub for rights education, his cookies a symbol of unity. Our case, dubbed the Morgan Standard, inspired laws tightening security oversight. Margaret moved away, her legacy a cautionary tale. Jake found honest work, his streaming days over. Henry taught me justice isn't loud, it's steady, built on truth and neighbors standing together. His shotgun never fired. The Constitution did. Our gate stands as proof that rights endure when you guard them with patience and proof. So what do you think? Was Henry's shotgun stunt genius or reckless? Should HOAs have any enforcement power at all? Could you stay calm watching your property destroyed? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories where ordinary people fight back. Share this with someone who'd love the drama because who doesn't?